Okay, hello everybody. This is a quick video. We'll launch GIMP. It's a GNU image manipulation program, so it's like a Photoshop. We're going to create an image. Let's select a pretty standard resolution, and we'll fill it with the black color. Then we'll zoom a little bit and create a circular selection with a little bit of feathering, very little. Let's say 2 pixels. And I'm going to hold shift so it's circular, and we'll make it pretty small. Let's say this size, yeah, and we'll fill it with some color like blue. Okay, so this is like how is we're doing. Let's unselect. That's our sphere. Okay, when we unzoom, it's pretty small, right? So you can imagine this is a picture of Earth from a camera, and we are, pretty far from Earth. For example, a moon or something like that. Let's say we add something here. It will be, uh, something that simulates maybe horizon or something. Depends, of course, what kind of camera you're using exactly. The field of view might be different. This might be, let's say, a pretty wide angle, or it might be a hill, or we might be pretty high above the surface, so we see the horizon curving. But it's just an idea. Okay, let's now just save this image to JPEG, which is commonly used format used for images, especially on web, but also in cameras. But even if you have a camera take analog photo on a film and then scan it to digitize it, often you will publish these images as JPEG files because they are substantially smaller. So we're going to save this as 2 different images then. Let's say this is a fake moon. Okay, fake moon. And we'll save this as a TIFF file, which is a format file which is pretty popular when scanning stuff. And it has a compression option. We'll select none. It doesn't matter because TIFF is actually lossless. So we'll save it. And we'll do the same, but save it as JPEG. Okay? Which probably what is a JPEG. We'll save it and we'll select quality 90, maybe a little bit more. Quality 90 is, let's actually do quality 90, let's say 90 JPEG. And we'll set this like that, and we'll do the same again, maybe higher, maybe 95, which is very high quality. Okay, and then first thing we'll do is we'll see sizes of these files. So let's go to list view and compare the different sizes of this file. So look at this. Fake Moon TIFF is 6 megabytes, 6,000 megabytes. It's like, 4 floppy disks for this one image with just a bit of white, a bit of black, and a bit of blue. Because all it's doing is saving every pixel, black, 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 black. But this is pretty big image. But look at our JPEG files. They are 30 kilobytes for quality 90 and 32 kilobytes for quality 95. This is substantially larger. So how much better, how much smaller it is? So it's a 3,000 kilobytes divided by, let's say this is the bigger one, 32 by 2. It's 200 times smaller. So you can fit 50 photos in this format on a floppy disk, and it will take you just maybe less than a second to download this over internet. This one might take minutes if you're on a slow connections. So obviously you will be able to, these are more practical formats because they They take less space on disk, less space in your memory card, in your camera, less space, less time to download it, and so on. So let me open these files and see how they look. So this is a TIFF file. Yeah, this is what we've done before. Nothing, no problem. Let me go to another file, the JPEG. Yep, again, same image. And 95. I'm switching between 90 and 95. And TIFF. TIFF, 90, 95. There's no visible difference, right? So yeah, there's no visible difference. So if we want to save space, of course, like, let's publish this stuff as a JPEG. Unfortunately, it's the files like that. They have some issues. So let's take the higher quality one, right? The 95 quality JPEG file, and it looks perfect, right? Well, not really. Because of the compression. The compression, JPEG compression works in blocks. It divides picture into small blocks, like this. They're about 32 by 32 pixels, and then tries to contain the information in this region with a smaller amount of information. And in this case, it's actually very easy. You know, all the file needs to say this block is just black, which is like one number, right? But areas that contains more information like that requires more information, or edges, or here it might be some additional special data. And JPEG is optimized to work well with images of nature, of photos you will usually find in real life. You know, faces, cars, trees, everything you can think about in real life. But if you give it extremely hard to interpret image, it will do poor job compressing, because it will not be able to encode information about the block in a small amount of data, like commands, because the content might be chaotic. So, but this one looks like the JPEG is doing a great job, right? It appears there's no artifacts and so on. Well, let's go to colors and levels and see. Let's zoom in on this supposedly Earth, right? Even when we zoom in, it looks perfect, right? It's the same color, there's no problems. Well, I can tell you actually, even without adjusting the colors yet, that this area here, the blue, is not perfectly uniform. I see a little darker spots, special pixels, and even here I see something. This is not purely black. It's not exactly the same color. Let me grab the pipette tool, which is for taking colors. So I can click on a area. So let's say I click far away, and it's saying me 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, right? It's a 0 red, 0 green, 0 blue. But let's say I click here, and I see the color. Look, there's 0.4 of red. Why it's even red, right? I click here. It says green, 1.2. So the compression tries to keep these things as close to black, what it was in the original image, but it's not. It adjusted stuff. And if you bump up some of these colors, you will see that strange things are happening. You see? They're blocks. Look at this. Do you think this is real image? So you can even see here these blocks. So this is a Somo block. Maybe it's like 8 by 8 or something like that. I believe JPEG works actually on a pretty small blocks. Yeah, and you see there's definitely, it's definitely not what it's supposed to be. If you go to our original image and do the same, and do levels and you brighten it up, this doesn't happen, because this image, these areas here are black. They're they are black as they were supposed to be. And then let's go to an edge here, right? If we go to levels again and brighten it by, you know, this smooth curve, this smooth transition between black and white, it just disappears and everything is just pure pixels, right? But if you go to the same compressed image, look, there is some crap. It's pretty close to dark, pretty close to black, and kind of emulates this transition between black and white smoothly. So if you zoom out quite a bit, you don't see it. And this is a feature of JPEG that happens. It's called ringing and blockiness. And the JPEG was designed this way because if we now do the undo, I guess. Can I undo? Levels? Yeah, you don't see it, right? And look, this looks pretty nice. But if you zoom a lot, and you think it's a smooth transition, right? And we click here. We think it's the same color as here and here. We click here. It's black. But I just clicked here, and it's not black. You know, some pixels will be not black. Oh, there. But they are extremely close to black. You cannot perceive it. And that's exactly how JPEG works. It makes small adjustments to image that are not visible to naked eye to reduce the size by 200 times. So you can, in the space of this one image, you can take 200 images. Just think about it. If you have a small memory card and you're making picture which is even higher resolution than that, what you would prefer? Be able to take 10 images of this, or 2000 images with JPEG, which shows almost no difference. This versus this. Yeah, we had it here. 1, 2, 3. No difference visible. But there are differences, and that's how it works. Thank you very much, that's all.